Welcome to Tavern Talk, a live, as you can tell, talk show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Joining me as always is Jansen and Gleeman, Tavern, and Dad Smates to Die. Brother Dan is not feeling well. Let's all give him yellow hearts.
Oh yeah, that too.
He'll be back soon. We have a special guest joining us tonight, and we have a great discussion ahead. We're going to be briefly going over how JordanCon went, and then we're going to dive into predictions for Season 4. So, of the three of us, I believe only Jansen went to JordanCon.
Yeah.
But our special guest did, so let's bring her in now. Let's all give a hearty welcome to Sulin, all the way from across the great ocean. You did fly down for JordanCon, am I correct, Sulin?
I did, and I'm definitely still jet lagged.
Oh. And this was your second time attending, correct?
Third
time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's a professional.
And Gleeman and Jansen, this was your second time, correct?
It was.
Okay, how did this one fare? How did this one stand up to your previous experiences?
This one was a lot of fun. I had some great panels. I rushed in there straight into Brother Dan hosting everybody and had some t-shirts for some giveaways, and it was a lot of fun. We were playing games, and I got to fellowship with a whole lot of old friends, met some new ones, got to network with so many awesome people, met a lot of people in the entertainment industry that I'm going to be very, 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 very in touch with over the next couple of years, hopefully. And we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it was such a great time to see this community and all the new things that I found out about. You learn something new every time you go here. And this time, for me, it was the secret societies.
Oh. Of which you cannot say a word.
Of which I can't say a word. But I didn't know how many of them that there actually were. And I was floored when I found out how many. And then I was charged with possibly making one myself.
Ooh, a Gleeman-focused one? Where you have to initiation is improving or singing a song?
Maybe. I was thinking more of the Festival of Birds.
Nice.
You have to do your own rendition of the Hills of Tanchico.
Oh, yeah.
The foothills of Tanchico.
It's interpretive dance.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was great. I got to talk about some crazy theories with people and got to sway some very bright minds on the books about a couple of mine, which was really, really awesome.
Nice.
It's great.
Yeah, you looked at us.
It's hard to compare like one con to another, like especially if you the same con year after year, and there's always going to be different people who can and can't make it. And so, like, for me this year, there were quite a few people who I was like, oh, so-and-so's not there, so-and-so's not there. And then, like, a day in, I was a bit, like, mopey about it. And then I was like, no, I can't compare, because if I set myself up to be like, last year was amazing, then I won't get, like, the full experience this year. So I think changing my perspective then just made the rest of it an absolute blast.
Have you consistently gone like the last 3 years, or was it like okay?
Yeah, basically since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And this year I did 4 panels, which was really, really hard work. But Sarah Nakamura was on two panels with me, 3 panels with me. And she said I was right twice, so I'm taking that as a win.
That's awesome.
Very.
Do you remember what you were right about?
Well, everything, but specifically, I was saying that like it was about episodes 4 and 5 and how there was a lot of stuff being like set up for episodes 7 and 8. So like where Rand and Moraine's relationship is at the end of 4, the start of 5, and then how that then translates to like there's literally like parallel conversations that they have where like you've never tried to help me, Moraine, and then you've always tried to help me, Moraine. So there's a lot of like setting up for payoff later in the season, which I thought they did really well.
Awesome. Any highlights before we move on?
Highlights. Let's see. Highlights. My highlights. Okay, so some of the costumes. We saw some really, really great ones, but there were a couple that blew me away. And sometimes, when you're doing a costume, especially when you're doing cosplay and things like this, sometimes simplicity is far, far stronger than some of the most elaborate costumes you'll ever see. And two people who made one of the biggest impacts at the costume contest this year were the two lovely young ladies who were accepted in the tower. They were walking together simultaneously in the exact same poses, and it was awesome. It looked like they were literally walking through like the tower. It was really, really cool, and I thought it was really, really awesome. It was and their costumes were spot on. It was it was really original and it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think the costumes this year were great. My highlight was getting Merry and playing hide and seek in the gardens at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I will say now, for the record, me and Ortex Alex, we won that game of hide and seek.
Nice.
That's
God,
canon.
oh my God, I got to talk to, I did meet Robert Jordan's nephew.
Really?
Yes, his nephew Ray. And I got to talk to him for a while. Very interesting individual. And of course, we got to talk to Maria as well, which we spent an incredible amount of time with her over 2 days. Dan and I both did, and she is such a lovely individual and a great person to hang out with. And I love picking her brain, and it was so much fun talking to her.
Maria's a trip. I love hanging out with Maria.
Yeah, she's great.
And she's agreed to be on the show, so we'll get her on soon.
She has agreed to be on the show, and that's going to be great.
Oh, I'm so stoked about that. I actually saw there was a video too of the gentleman who does the he has like the auto harp and entertains, he sings a little bit on stage.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he did the Hills of Tanchico, and everybody was singing, and the gentleman who wrote, I believe, the music for that song was at JordanCon, and he said he was completely blown away by the fandom's kind of embracing that song and its music and just the joy of the song itself. So it really made an impact on him as well. I just thought it was really cool.
Not gonna lie, who doesn't like a sea shanty? I mean,
I love a sea shanty.
Everybody
and
likes
I mean,
sea
and
shanty.
he also took lyrics from the actual book for the song, which was great. And we know exactly where that was from, and that is and it was in Tanchico with Amathera, and that was great to hear those exact same lyrics. So that was great. They did that great job with that. So I assume we're about to start talking about what we think's going to happen, or even if it is.
Okay, yeah. Let's start with the penultimate question, and I do have a poll going on right now. So let's hear your thoughts. But will we get a season 4? I've been
I
Full
just
police stating I do not believe it's happening for quite a while. The further along this goes, I'm feeling more and more confident in that. What are your thoughts on season 4?
can we, before we start with the season 4 chatter, it is part of it, but I would like to point out that there's 11% no in that poll. So I would like to shun the non-believers right the hell now. Shun the non-believers. Shun. All right, sorry about that.
All right, and everyone, we're gonna try and keep this conversation spoiler free through A Crown of Swords.
Okay.
So
Yes.
let's keep that in mind.
How do you say crown in Spanish? Never mind.
Is that including Crown of Swords or right up to?
Back to the end of Crown of Swords.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and it's significant too because of a lot of reasons. But yeah,
I should have known that. Damn, it's the name of a beer.
but yeah, it's and yeah.
Were we surprised there were no? Okay, so God, I'm jumping around, but was there anything from Amazon kind of given
Nothing.
to JordanCon? Clips behind the scenes?
Just
Yeah, there was a
speculation.
bloopers reel.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
Ooh.
Yep.
It was really funny, to be fair. It was.
Oh, I'm sure.
Really funny, but yeah, that was it. It was just a bloopers reel that they played at the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. Season 4. Yay or
So,
nay?
you know, I'll go last.
All right,
I'll go
Sulan, do you
last.
believe we'll get a season 4?
I'm quietly optimistic. From conversations I've had with people involved, they said like the numbers were looking good. It was all looking positive, and that Amazon want to make it, but they need the numbers from the show to back it up. And then they had the new head of production come in, so everything got paused for that. So my understanding is that the decision is still pending.
All right. Yeah, chat's saying that it's done in negotiation between Amazon and Sony. It says it's mostly up to Sony at this point. I'd love to learn more about that. I don't really understand how those rights are being kind of battered back and forth. But Tavern, do you think we'll get a season 4?
I am also with Sulan as being quietly optimistic. It would be, I think, monetarily bad for them to not do it, but it, again, that also depends on the budget that they're putting out for this thing, right? I think they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, the numbers this season were higher than any other numbers, and they beat out some of the numbers were even higher than some of the other shows that have been out there that did really well. Whenever I hear anybody say, "Oh, it's 3 seasons, they're not gonna, continue," I'm like, Game of Thrones didn't really pick up until like season 4. It didn't really get going really good until like 4. So I got my fingers crossed.
And that's when
I'm going to be wildly optimistic and say we're getting a season 4.
okay.
I just want it. I want it so badly, and I want to just throw that out into the universe. And I think there's enough, data in enough numbers and stuff to get the go ahead. I don't know what's, again, I also don't know what the logistics of the holdup is, or who needs to say yes, or who needs to whatever. But I know there's a craving for it, and I really want it to happen. So yes.
Yeah. When did Sony pop up in this? Like, from
They
the
have
beginning?
Don't they have some? They've got some rights.
Yeah, they have some rights.
So when they sold it, it was they both bought in.
Didn't it have something to do with like Red Eagle or something like that though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they had the first rights to it, Sony bought it, and so Sony held on to it. I mean, and Sony's known for doing this, right? I mean, they did this they're still doing it right now. They did it with Spider-Man and the X-Men, and I guess that was Stan Lee had to sell it piece by piece, but yeah, I mean.
So I'm reading up on it right now, if you want to know what.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, hit
So
it.
it's basically what you guys said, that Sony's involvement with the Wheel of Time began with Red Eagle Entertainment, who originally acquired the television and film rights from the Jordan estate, and then Red Eagle partnered with Sony Pictures Television, with Sony eventually taking the lead on developing a big budget TV series adaptation. And then while Red Eagle was involved in the initial development production, Amazon Studios ultimately greenlit the series, and it premiered on Prime. So with Sony Pictures Television still attached to the project.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're still just kind of, they do that with a lot of, like you said, with the whole Spider-Man thing. The only reason they had Spider-Man is because all they have to do is put out anything.
Yeah, I mean,
that deal was so ridiculous.
And they tried to hold off on making Spider-Man movies for a while because of that. That's the sole reason why Iron Man was the guy for Marvel that started around, because their number one dude, Spider-Man, couldn't be put on there. Now it's they've started to partner up. That's why the X-Men are coming into the universe now.
I'm so excited for that.
Same thing. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited for that too. But now I'm going to tell you guys what I think. And I'm going to go the complete radical yes. I do believe there's going to be another one. And it's not because, hell yeah, I'm a huge fan. It's not because, hell yeah, I want to see one. And it's not because of the biggest reason there is. I want to be part of this production in any possible way.
Yeah.
But all of those things aside, I'm looking at it from a lot of different points of view, and I'm looking at it from Yoshi's point of view. I'm looking at it from Yoshi's point of view because in an interview recently with him, he was asked, is there going to be a fourth season? He said he was way on the side of yes, more than he was on the side of no. And trust me, nobody wants this series to go more than him, obviously.
Yeah.
This is already his cash cow for the rest of his life. So this is his well. The bigger it gets, the bigger for him, and deservedly so. Congratulations to him. I'm really happy for him. He deserves it, and it was awesome. All these guys do, and they're partially some of the other reason why I really believe that this show is going to continue to go. A lot of the people, not just the actors, but the crew, the directors, the editors, everybody, they invested a lot into this. And there have been a lot of shows on Amazon and on other streaming services that have lasted longer with a lot less fans.
Yeah.
So I believe that this is one of the, shows that Amazon is going to keep going. Even and going into that, one of their rivals, which was also on Amazon, which was the Rings
of Power.
The Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
It started getting bad. And I'll be the first one to say I started watching it, and I thought the production value was, the first couple episodes I saw, I thought it was amazing. I was like, in fact, I was jealous for the Wheel of Time when I started first watching it, because I was like, I hope that the Wheel of Time, even though COVID happened, can get to this kind of production level, because this looks great. And it did. Yeah. It definitely did. It opened up the world. It changed everything. And I do believe that we're going to have more of this. They see what they have. And I believe that this season they got more fans starting to watch this than any other one.
Yeah.
I will say that I have seen an uptick in content creators putting out content on either TikTok or Instagram or whatever for the Wheel of Time. That has increased. Like people that I've never seen in the fandom, never heard from in the fandom, didn't, I don't know if they even know the fandom exists. They're just in there doing their thing, and it's increased by a lot.
And I told everybody, Dan and I had the opportunity to meet Robert Jordan's nephew. He told us personally that the show has started to even help with driving book sales.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect of them promoting this and that's fantastic for everyone, for people to actually read the books after they see this, so they understand where us as book readers are coming from when we had so much angst from the first 2 seasons. So I'm really happy about that, and I think that all those things are reasons why they're going to keep this going.
All right. So go on, Dylan.
I was just going to say, I really hope that part of the reason it's delayed is because they're trying to negotiate for seasons 4 and 5. Because it's taken them so long to film everything at the moment that, like, realistically, they need to just push forward and shoot 2 seasons.
Be nice to
Otherwise,
add on
we're
2
gonna be
extra
doing 10
episodes
years.
too.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're not going to do it, but
they have.
But-
I mean, they have the fodder, or not the fodder. They have the reasoning and
yeah,
the execution to back up more money per episode for sure. And maybe even I don't know if they'll give us 2 extra episodes, only because for whatever reason, whatever idiot decided at whatever time that 8 was it, and we're gonna drop 3 first, and then we're gonna drop 1 a week, and we're gonna screw everybody's season by chopping it down. Because
Carrots
we
and
can't do it out once in a week.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about the prophetic dream that Bezos realized. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And you know what? It gives me an idea. We need to make a poster about the Wheel of Time with Jeff Bezos in the clouds dimming and calling him the creator.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I can't. I can't do that. I can't throw myself on the ground and praise anybody like that. not even joking. That's just not happening.
You wouldn't cast Jeff Bezos as Bella?
That I did it.
Yes.
I was ready.
We need to find a way.
As soon as you said that, I was like, here we go.
We need to stroke Jeff Bezos and have him send more money this way. He's not missing any.
Do you think that if we do get more money, that we would get to a point where maybe not every episode, but maybe mid-season and the finale for each season, we get an hour and a half? I would be good with that.
I would even be better. I'd be better. I'd feel better if we were guaranteed that Rafe Judkins writes at least 1 or 2 episodes in each season, because it seems to me that the ones that he writes, he knows exactly what everyone wants to see.
At least in season 3.
Yeah, he definitely
he wrote the famous Steppen episode, and we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but
yeah, I know. I understood his logic, but I get it. I get that.
Was it the Nynaeve episode or the one after?
Steppen?
Yeah, like
Steppen in the White Tower or Steppen in the cave? Where were we stepping? White Tower.
Tower.
Yeah, that's 5.
I mean, that episode did show us the Forsaken, and I'm trying to find something good with
Not
it.
only that, that was one of my favorite episodes just because they touched on PTSD so well. Like they did it so well that it was my favorite episode of the season.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Don't attack me, Ryan. I see you over there gasping, chomping at the bit,
clutching the pearls.
His head is spinning. It's like the Exorcist.
What do you guys think, or what do you want to see that they're going to come up with for the 4? Because here's the thing: there's a lot we're going to want to see, but from the way they've already crafted it, it's going to have to go differently. So let's see what we're going to think. What do you guys think?
I think we're going to get Camelin and Tia.
You think we're getting Camelin?
I think they'd have to, because we've sort of hinted at that in Tom revealing that to Elaine. So I think they would need to either move her in that direction to take that story and meet up with Rand, or have Rand do Tia and then kind of diverge a bit and have the girls do Camelin, which I don't know if I would love that or not.
That kind of makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because where would they be going? You know, they're not going. They're not going to Saladar.
Yeah.
Ooh, but they've mentioned Saldea.
Go Saladar.
I would love to see Saladar next season.
I would too,
I think
but
you have to, because there was the deleted scene, wasn't there, from season 3, where they're setting up Saladar. It's like, let's all meet on the banks of Swan's home.
Which deleted scene was this?
It was referenced. I don't know if they've released it, right?
Right, yeah. They referenced a deleted scene, which I think it was Verin and maybe Lyanna post Swan in episode 8 having a conversation saying, we're all going to flee and we're going to go to where Swan was born, on like the banks of
banks or something
basically
like that.
Saladar.
But that would be Tyr, wouldn't it?
that would be Tyr.
Yeah.
And then that actually makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I can see him
Because
going
that's where they're going anyway. That's where Rand's going.
Saladar
I
is
think
more
you just moved
closer to Amadisha, though, isn't it?
Saladar to Tyr.
Saladar is right across the river
Yeah,
from Amadisha. Yeah,
Amadisha, right? So it's not really near Tyr.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure. I'm not saying that's not what's happening. I'm just trying to get the geography in my
Yeah, it's in Altera. It's in Altera.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Yeah, and they might just forego calling it Saladar and just being like, we're going to go meet with.
Yeah, I think they may do that.
Yeah.
Because then, I think that's.
I think we're going to Saldea next season as well. They've mentioned
Saldea?
Mazrim. Yeah, because they've mentioned Mazrim Taim several times now.
Oh, right.
And they mentioned he was in Saldea, so at some point he's got to make an appearance.
Yeah, but when he made his first appearance in the books, it was where in Carrion? No,
he was.
Yes, it was in Carrion. Oh, it was in Camelin.
Yeah.
Camelin.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not okay at this point. I'm not associating a whole lot of the stuff in the books as far as timeline wise, because we got the attack this season that should have happened in Tyr, right? So they're bouncing stuff back around. So when they go to Tyr, that's not going to happen. Plus, we got the bubble of evil that happened in Tyr. We also got that in this season.
So they're going to merge the second Aiel War, making it in Tyr instead of Carrion.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
that's why.
You think you think Couladin and them are going to attack Tyr? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly where they're going.
I
because
do.
I think that the prophecy.
Well, because
they have to try to fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a good call.
Tyr was where Rand battled Bilal, who's not in the show. So I think they'd have to replace that with something else.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know who's in Tyr. So, once we get there, we might find somebody there. There's still two Forsaken we haven't met yet.
And we know that there's nobody in Ilion.
Magedion.
Yeah, Magedion's going to show up.
Yeah, Maggie's everywhere.
Magedion's got the Mount Adam, and Nynaeve is chasing her, and I think that's how they all kind of converge in Tyr.
In Tyr?
Nynaeve's chasing Magedion. Magedion knows that that's Rand's next step.
And we know that the Wonder Twins and Matt and Min are on their way somewhere because they are on a ship
on a boat
at the end of the season.
Yeah. And I mean,
we know they're not going to Ilion.
No, I think they're going to Camelin. And here's the other reason. You know why? Here's why. They already have a set.
The throne room?
They already have a Camelin set.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, production thinks about shit like this, man.
They already have a Carrion. They already have a Carrion set too.
That's true. They do, and that Carrion set can be turned into Camelin very, very easily.
Yeah, or the White Tower, or Paralon.
Very easily.
I think the location the big location we're getting is going to have to be Tyr.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're getting two big cities.
Yeah, Tyr is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
I think we're getting Amadisia, by the way.
You think
I
so?
think that
with
has to
Pedro
be-
Nial?
yeah, I
with
think-
Pedro Nial?
I
Well,
think
I
that's
don't know
where
who
they're
they're in
taking
charge.
Perrin.
Who do you think is in charge? Because they haven't mentioned. They just said they requested backup and all that stuff from on high, but they never said who was in charge of the White Cloaks.
Well, they did
They
that
never
because they haven't written it yet.
Well, I'm sure they haven't written it,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
who do you think they're going to put in there? Is
Oh,
it going to
yeah,
be Niall or is it going to be Asanawa? What character do you think they're going to throw in there?
You know who I think it could be? This is weird. This is going to be a weird one, though. But hear me out. I think they're going to merge Asanawa with Massima.
Oh, okay.
With who?
Interesting.
Massima.
Oh, Massima?
Yes.
Yeah, but we've got a Massima in the show.
Exactly. I think he's going to Amador and he's going to preach and become Asanawa. They're going to follow him because they're zealots.
Okay, I will agree that is a weird one. I'm not saying no because I love you.
They're zealots. Yeah,
I'm not.
Three
I'll have to chew on
times
that for a bit.
3 times in the books they compared the prophet's followers to having more zealousy than even the White Cloaks.
Well, yeah,
They
because it
mentioned-
was a cult. Because the
Yeah.
White Cloaks are a cult, and Massima was running a cult. So yeah, of course they're similar.
So do you
Yeah,
think that Massima is going to be anti-Rad instead of pro-Dragon Reborn? Because the White Cloaks can't be pro-Dragon Reborn.
I think, man, I actually think Massima is going to be the one that brings the White Cloaks to Rand. I don't think Perrin is at all.
I mean, I want to see Massima, but I'm a little worried because, for example, we didn't get Gollum Gollum Fane, right? We've gotten a Fane, but it's not been the Fane that I wanted to see from the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm worried what they'll do with Massima.
So who do you think is commanding Fane right now?
Fane.
Fane.
It's not
Yeah, I was gonna
Lanfear.
imagine-
No,
He didn't trust Lanfear at all.
No, and he's kind of even in the books he ingratiated himself into different groups as himself. I was actually surprised that there was so much Forsaken influence on the show on him, even though he kind of worked for them. But still, I mean, I really thought that he would kind of be doing his own thing with his vengeance against Rand.
I don't think it's until Lord of Chaos that he actually starts chatting to Elida. It's
Who,
either
Fane?
Fires of Heaven or Lord of Chaos because the coup is
Oh, yeah,
later
yeah.
than
Yeah,
we
you're
think
right.
it is. So I think
Yeah.
Fane's got a little way to go
Yeah,
if we get
I'm hoping.
his full story arc. So I'm happy to see that come later and for him to have his little White Cloak bit first.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
There was also a feel, I thought, just me personally, I thought that when he spoke to Ishamael, it wasn't really like a chasm of difference. It almost felt like he was speaking to a coworker in some sense. Like, yes, he followed Ishamael, but there wasn't really a, yes, Lord, yes, my Lord, whatever. Like, he did kind of speak like, we're after the same goals type thing with a little more independence, I think, than most Dark Friends would have.
That's true. And the stuff that he pulled with, wiping out the White Cloaks and then taking their uniforms and stuff, that was a pretty gnarly move that I enjoyed. It was a twist to the books where he kind of had kind of wormed his way into the children and then got assigned to that group and he started tormenting or kind of warping them.
Do you guys think that the Dark One will punish Padden Fane and Luke for the Battle of the Two Rivers and then merge them together?
That'd be interesting.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm really conflicted on Luke. Like, he's so beige right now.
You're
I'm just sort of like,
sad.
he's just so beige.
I actually, because of my trip to JordanCon, because of my conversations and because of my crazy theories, Luke has now become one of my favorite characters to talk about.
Oh,
Oh gosh,
is he
Oh,
Moganian?
yeah.
got another theory.
Oh, but this one,
I'm good with crazy theories, but
even Maria gave me a nod on.
Mm.
We're gonna we're gonna have to hold that for another show, though.
Yeah, I have to hold it. I'll hold
yeah.
it.
All right, fair enough.
With the white cloaks, just so I tried to plot out the whole season.
Oh, for more?
And I
She's
I
gonna have it
think-
written and ready to go.
There you go.
I love it.
I love it. Wait, no, let's get in there. Yeah,
I'm here for that.
There you go.
I keep doing that to you. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I
I love it.
think that so we've got end of season 3 is Perrin being taken by the White Cloaks. So I think they are going to put him on trial.
Right.
And if you think about what happens to the White Cloaks in books 5 and 6 is the Morghasin Amadisia plotline,
Right.
and then the Sean Chan attack. So
With
I
Pater.
think they're going to have the trial, but before the sentencing, the Sean Chan attack, and Perrin helps them get free. And so him and Dane come to a bit of a truce. Because Perrin needs to be freed up before the end of the season, in my opinion, to go to Dumai's Wells.
Okay.
It's a possibility. Yeah, that's a good theory.
Are you okay? Are you saying that we would get Dumai's Wells in season 4?
Season 5.
I think Moraine and the Archers is episode 4. Rand takes Kalendor is episode 4. And then episode 7 is Dumai's Wells. And episode 8 is Egwene becomes Amelin.
Yeah.
Who have you been talking to for these detailed notes? Because you're very. She's like, and at 37 minutes and 52 seconds, Rand is gonna poke Matt in the eye with a sharp stick.
So
Well,
here's
does
the thing.
Does that give enough time to establish the Black Tower,
The Black Tower.
and all of that in order to get to Dumai's Wells, or would they need to push that to season 5?
This is the exact question I had. I think you have Rand takes Kalendor and gets crowned, and then immediately forms the Black Tower, because actually it's the same book that he forms the Black Tower and Dumai's Wells. So actually, if it was only 2 episodes apart, I don't think it's the end of the world, as much as we want it to be further spaced out for our own joy in seeing recruitment and stuff.
So, what would everybody, when we saw the season 2, we saw the beginning of season 3, us as book readers pretty much knew how it was going to end. As far as what was the grand finale going to be, we pretty much knew. We were waiting for it. We pretty much knew in both seasons. So for it to be a successful season 4, the last episode is going to have to be an epic episode. So going through the books and going through what we know as far as, book 6, book 7, book 5, book 6, but we know that Dumai's Wells is the big one.
I have thoughts. Go ahead, continue.
Unless Rand gets taken at the very end.
That's
my thought.
That's the thought. He gets captured, and it's a cliffhanger because it would be a mid-series finale.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
but it'd be a really good way to end. It'd be a good way to end the season 2, because it would leave everybody blowing like, "What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?" It would be So
only people would lose their shit.
Do you think Rand gets kidnapped in episode 1 or something? Then
no, I mean I'm thinking maybe episode 8.
Oh, right.
That's what we end on, is him getting kidnapped. Yeah, I agree with that. And then we start season 5, and we get Demise Wells in episode 4 because it'll be the mid-season. We'll have the lead up to the big save, with him getting his ass beat for a few episodes. Yeah, I think it'd be good. I like it.
And we're pretty sure that we're going to get at least one really, 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 really big episode of gambling. And we're going to see Matt's powers start to manifest themselves.
Ooh, do you think we're going to get the horse racing in tier?
I think that that's a pretty good assumption, especially, and you know why, Tavern? You know why that's a very, very, very good assumption? Because of
Because
the
you love me?
Tyrion, no, because of the Tyrion bloodstock of horses.
Yes.
And you know who we haven't heard
Ryan.
from? Our illustrious leader, Ryan, is so
I
quiet.
was like, he's just letting us talk.
No, I've enjoyed the conversation.
And yeah, but you know, the Tyrion bloodstock. So you know who else we're going to get? Now, you know all of everyone watching today, the 27 of you all know what equine we love the most here at Tavern Talk.
Don't say it out loud.
I'm not going to say it out loud, but there is another beloved horse in this series
There is.
that I am quite sure we're going to be introduced to in season 4. And for me, being a book reader, it's the little things. So I am really looking forward to seeing Pips.
Pepe? You want to see Pepe?
Yes. I
would like to see Pepe as well. Actually, not only would I like to see Pepe, but I would like to see Oliver.
I think Olva's getting cut.
I do
I
not.
100% think Olva's getting cut.
No
You think
way.
so?
'Cause you
Oliver's
can't
here.
have a
Cover
kid-
yourself.
You
Are we
can't
getting,
have a kid on set for that long because he'll age too
I
quickly.
crack myself up.
No, trust me.
I
You can
think
have
his
Olga.
his plot
You can have
line
Olga.
given to Fail.
No, Star Trek did it for years with some of the people who played Ferengi,
Oh yeah.
especially the kids. The one that played Nog, I believe he's passed away now. He was a great actor. I forgot his name, but no, they can do it. And trust me, it's from a production standpoint, from an actor standpoint, they need Oliver on this show.
Yeah, and ears. Listen, ears has been done left and right. And I'm not saying not to do them. I'm just saying they've perfected ears. I think in any movie, they're done so often, especially now with fantasy shows and stuff. That big goofy ears.
They also,
Should be
but they don't
cakewalk.
have the cute. They have yet to bring in the cuteness element.
Yeah.
Like every
Well,
fantasy has. Every fantasy has.
We had it for a smidge with
Loyal.
Elsie.
Alcera.
Well,
Also,
we had it with
Alcera, and we had it with Elsie, the one that had the little Brigida doll.
Oh, right.
Also Grimwell.
well, actually, no. The
Well,
first
thank
girl
you.
we saw got smashed by the Shanshan on the coast.
That is true, but that wasn't really as cute as it should have been.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see her long enough
Yeah.
to
I mean,
assess
then we
whether it was a cute
saw,
woman or
then
not.
we saw another one where her dad abandons her on the river to drift. I mean, dang. I mean, there's no cuteness.
Oh my god.
I never thought about that. That's funny.
Two
Well,
daughters,
there is-
I mean, dude, saw their mom burn to death. Yeah, we need a little
Yeah.
cuteness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we need something.
Murdrow killed one in front of Matt.
Five,
Oh,
six-fingered cat, something.
they're saying it was Helga Grimwell, not Elsie. I went with Elsie because that's what I remember from the book. So don't quote me. All right.
Helga.
I don't remember it being Helga, but
It was Helga.
that's what they're saying.
That's what it is on IMDb. Yeah, it's Helga.
I
I
did
am
not pay that much
Helga.
attention, to be honest.
That's such a strong name.
And somebody said, yeah, it is a strong name for a little girl.
I am Helga.
Helga, look at my braided dog. Somebody brought up Brigida earlier. I don't think we're getting Brigida.
We already have got Brigida.
No, we've
Yeah,
had
we're
her, but I don't
100%
think we're
getting
getting.
Vegeta.
Yeah,
You
they're
think
gonna,
we're getting her back?
I don't think we're
Yeah.
getting that actress back.
Rafe
I-
said at the end of season 2 that they deliberately didn't focus too much on Vegeta in the Heroes of the Horn bit so that they could recast it properly later.
Mhm.
Oh, Okay.
Well, you're
Alright.
right. I remember this because they were saying that to cast her for 2 seconds and then say it's that thing where it's like, can you come back 3 seasons later?
Yeah.
Would have
She's
been
too old now, but Lucy Lawless would have hit it hard. She would have killed it.
I mean, she could
Like,
probably still do it.
Birgitta is introduced in Fires of Heaven, so I think we're getting her next season.
Okay, I stand correct. I didn't think
Wait
we
a
were going to get
second.
it.
I
just
thought she
because
was introduced. I thought she was introduced before that.
It was
It's-
during Saladar. No,
It's when Nynaeve and Elaine leave Tanchico and discover
No.
the tower coup, and then end up with the circus. That's when.
No.
Well, they meet her
no.
in the world of dreams,
It's-
don't they?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Perrin meets her in the world of dreams at the Tower of Genji.
that is when he's chasing Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, don't go in there.
I forgot all about
That
that.
is in book 3.
So the question is she really necessary? Because Karis Sedai is asking that. Is Birgitta really necessary
I
for the
think
show?
so. I think for Elaine, yes.
Elaine's arc. I think Elaine
I
should
mean,
have a warder.
a lot of things have been necessary for people's arcs, sort of like I don't know, Valda. Necessary for
No,
Galen's arc.
I think
but
you know
he's
what?
gone.
I think Brigitta could be really, really necessary as far as explaining things for the audience.
Exactly what I thought. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she could be a source of knowledge.
Because Tom Maryland's doing a pretty good job of it right now in Tanchico, we're like saying things so we can understand, or
Yeah.
at least book readers can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Tom's sticking around? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to be in season 4 for sure.
I
He's
do.
guilted off after that
Well-
again for a little bit, or no?
Well, we saw him make a bond with Elaine pretty well. So I think that he's going to be part of Elaine and Matt. I think that he's going to be around. Yeah.
And I just want to. What was that, Sulin? Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
He needs to give Matt his hat.
He does. He needs to hand that hat off. Also, kudos to the showrunners and the writers and everybody at the production for unmaking that creepy Tom Elaine dynamic that was in the books.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for fixing that.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
was just an antiquated,
I know.
thought
I know it was.
process. He was a
I
man of
kinda-
his time.
I
He's
kind of
trapped in
don't
the
want
time.
that to be the hat, though.
I do want it. You don't want it to be the hat?
It's
No,
not going to
I
be
want
the
it to
hat.
be a different hat. I don't want Matt to look like a cowboy. For real, like they really leaned heavily into Tom being like a cowboy figure. So and so to hand
He
that off to
does,
him,
yeah, and he has a poncho and everything. Yeah, I mean,
He looks more like a gaucho. I wouldn't call him a cow. I mean, a gaucho is a
yeah, you're right. He does.
Spanish cowboy, but still, I wouldn't say he's an American cowboy. But yeah,
he even got like a Spanish style guitar, or something. Like, did he get like a classic?
No, he's got a
Western
mini. He's got a little
sound
mini
effect?
guitar.
No,
Oh,
yeah, when
he
he entered
did.
the hallway, the
He did.
music changed to be all.
but they've done that. But they've done that several times now. They did it with Alana when she confronted the Seven in the streets. You actually hear a weird, almost like the spaghetti western sound. And they did do it again with Tom. And they did a showdown thing when Lanfear called Samael and Robin into their little meeting.
Oh, yeah,
And
you're right,
Lanfear
they
and
did.
Samael started kind of going at it. They squared off and their hands kind of came up and like twitched a little bit, like they were going for their guns. I thought so. That's been pretty funny throughout the season. I got to give them that.
So, you know what I think they're going to do to Mogideon?
Oh,
I
don't
think
do
they're
it.
going to do exactly what they did in the book to her, and I think they're going to give a mind trap. That's
She
the only way they're
mentioned
going to be able to control her.
She mentioned it. She said-
She's taken out Forsaken like nothing. I think they're going to. I think Demon Dread's going to be like, oh, okay, bitch.
No, but I'm saying she mentioned the mind trap. She says, "I don't want
Yeah.
to be in somebody's golden cage for another 3,000
Yeah.
years." So yeah, they've already mentioned it. So yeah, I can see that happening. I can see Nynaeve having her way with her for a bit first.
Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
I would like to see the Nynaeve Mogideon dynamic
Yeah.
emerge. Like that
Oh
was
my
think
god,
she-
how
my favorite stuff.
Is she
How-
cured? Is Nynaeve cured?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, her Moses moment? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So now she's just going to be like.
She's going to start collecting people 2 by 2 now. I'm just going to start following her.
I mean,
I
she
think we're
literally
getting-
parted the sea.
She did part the sea.
She parted the sea, man. Magically, the steps were waiting for her, everything, man. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so I have a question for season 4 that kind of goes back to season 2 because that's the last time I remember seeing it. Where the fuck is the dagger?
Oh, that's what I said.
Sarah
Yeah.
answered this at JordanCon.
Oh, did she? Because where is it?
Yeah,
there's
She
only
said-
one place it can be. It's in the White
That's what
Tower.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking too.
she said
It's in the
if you
tower.
pay attention in season 3, you see the dagger.
Oh,
What?
And I'm pretty sure Padam Fane has it
okay.
on his.
Oh,
I think he's got it.
Yeah, I don't
What's
think
that
he has it. I think
TikToker?
It's still
For
there.
F's sakes.
But I mean, you know, we did see the Ashandarai too.
we did see it.
Yeah, he
yes.
doesn't need the dagger anymore. It's
He doesn't. I was just there was a question, a TikToker I saw was posing that question, and it hit me. I'm like, they're right. She's absolutely right. I don't recall where the hell the dagger went.
Yeah.
Matt had it, and then it just vanished. And my brain went, okay, it should be in Tarvalon, but I didn't see it there either. So I'll have to check out Fane, and I'll have to go back into the 13th repository and see if it's laying somewhere. Man, that's a tough one because we pretty much scoured that room.
It could be on his belt.
Could be.
Here's a real good one. Do you think that? So we know by what we've talked about that we know that there is going to be a split in the tower.
Yes.
Now, whoever left the tower, do you think Lyanna took the horn with her?
No. I don't know that she had enough time.
Did she take? Oh, the horn. Ooh.
Yeah. Like, because that would have been one of the biggest pieces of leverage if you think about it, because they are being a little more realistic about what people would actually do in a situation on this show.
Where do you think? Wait, where do you think Swan would have put it?
Well, anywhere. I mean,
Well, she
they
could have put it in
already
13th
have
repository.
technology.
They had prisoners in the.
That's what I'm
13th
saying, but they
repository.
already have. They took a real good amount of time taking that. Her little traveling mirror off the wall on the show.
They did. Oh yeah, they did.
we see
And that's
multiple shots of Swan hiding stuff in boxes in season
They did.
3.
That is true.
So
they did.
I feel like she's just put it somewhere and it will show up later when it's needed, just like it does in the books.
Wait, going back to what Jansen was saying though, what if she did put it? If there's a way to put it in the Love Shack, and Moraine finds it later.
So what if it's already in tier at their little hidey little hole?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Because I don't think she would have put it. I don't think she would have put it into like a repository, especially after what happened.
Yeah.
I don't think she would trust that.
It's just out on her balcony.
It's out on her balcony.
She just left it out there.
So I thought that at the end of season 3 we would get Lanfear tackling or Maureen tackling Lanfear into the doorway.
Yeah.
Not
And,
me.
and famously, MIA for quite a bit. What are they doing with her?
Well, whatever they're doing is going to go alongside with the contract that they signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, they sign these actors in and they are great and they are going to work. So they're going to find a way to make it so Moraine can stay in. They've obviously got a bigger budget than we thought.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, Moraine was in tier with Rand. Am I wrong?
Yeah, she was.
Because she.
Yeah, because that's book 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's plausible that they keep her, again, contracts and whatever, but she actually does have a storyline that she could play into.
Are we getting Cad Swain?
That's
Not yet.
No, do you think we're getting her at all?
I think
I
so.
do.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
if Maureen's
100%.
gonna survive.
No, there's got to be a Cad Swain. And not just because
I
I'm
do.
called Catswine, but
I do, and you know what? And I'm still holding out on my pick for Katsuin Sadai, which I still think is the perfect actress to play Katsuin Sadai. Very, very wonderful Kate Mulgrew.
oh, I would
I
love
love
that.
Kate Mulgrew. I actually was thinking Kathy Bates, but yes, called Kate Mulgrew would be good too.
I think she would be perfect. I mean, literally, I think she is. She was the captain of the Voyager in Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
So
Someone
is this spelled like gruel, like in
No, GREW.
Mulgrew.
Yeah,
Kate
MULGREW.
Yeah, like I've grown. I grew.
Captain Janeway.
Captain Janeway said I.
Yeah, Captain
I
Janeway.
really want a Joa Ando to be Katsumi.
Oh,
Ooh, that'd be good too.
I just think she would be
Wait,
perfect.
Who did you say?
A Joa Ando. She is a British sort of Shakespearean actor, but she's she's in Bridgerton as Lady Danbury. If you've seen
Right.
that.
Oh no, yeah, I've seen her. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah,
Wait, how do you spell it?
ADJOA.
Yeah.
ADJOA ANDOH.
Yeah.
Oh
be
wow,
amazing.
okay.
someone was saying Michelle Yeoh. I don't know if they have the money for that, but I thought that was a very cool pick as well.
If they had the money, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, get her. She's great.
Yeah.
All right, this works for me. Look at that face.
Yeah, she's great. She would be an incredible kid swim.
I think so. The way, like, Jensen, you can back me up here, right? The way sort of TV arcs works is you have the mid-season sort of finale, and then you have the end. And my understanding is that Rosamund is out of contract now.
Yeah.
So I think the way to keep her in is to have her go in episode 4, because
I think you're absolutely right.
It sets it up for all of the dealing with stuff.
And I think that they will counter that Yang with a Perrin and Fael Yang marriage.
I literally have it written down. I completely agree with you.
Yep. That's what I think they'll do for the season
All right.
finale.
All right, Frank B. Let's all say hi to Frank B. I love new names.
Frank B. What's up?
He says, Moraine in Tears, the first place we saw Balefire. She killed the Forsaken. My question to you is, are we going to see Balefire without the Ungreal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe Dark
I definitely think we will.
I don't think it's going to be... it might be like a Rand, just like one of his, how he does his crazy reactions and shit happens.
Yeah.
So it might be something like that. I don't think it's going to be unless it's Elaine, and because she learned how to do it from watching it.
No,
because I know Rafe did say that Moraine did see Lanfear use the gateway, so we know, and she learned how to tie off a weave from what Ishii did to her. So.
I mean, we know that Balefire is we know as book readers that what it does to the pattern, the side effects. People, non-book readers don't know that yet. That being said, it is a tool, so it is very possible that Demon Dread teaches it to Rand himself.
It's possible.
As a way to trick him into using it. And then they find out what it actually does and have to stop.
That would be pretty cool.
I think that that's a really fun way to put it in there. But,
he's just Balefire the shit out of everything, and that's when we meet Catsway and she walks up, just slaps him across the face.
Who did we see use it? We saw John Kaida use it.
Correct. And Elaine.
And then we saw Elaine use it. Now Jane Kaida, there's another one who lasted almost to the very end of the books. She was killed. She was killed. Well, that's a spoiler. I don't want to say, but she doesn't make it. In the show, in the books, she makes it pretty far.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
I actually wonder if they Balefire the archers after Moraine goes through.
Ooh.
as a way of like they, she can't be retrieved, etc., etc.
That would make sense, or some sort of like surge of the one power, because I think even in the books the doorway melts or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can't remember
they go
how
through?
it melts.
It melts. It does.
Yeah.
It melts.
I think there's like arcing kind of surge of the one power from the two of them fighting.
Yeah, it starts smoking and then melts.
Yeah. So that could easily be, Balefire going bananas and then melting the doorway, so she can't be retrieved by that way anyway.
Yeah, it melts.
I like that.
Do you think we will see Grendel or Semirog?
Yes, we'll see. They've mentioned them, right?
Mhm.
They've mentioned both of them, and I think that of course, season 4 we'll see at least one of them emerge. And we got to think about where they would be. That's got to be Tyr. That's the other major city in Randland. And they were under control from all the Forsaken. So there we have it. We're gonna be in Tyr.
Yeah,
and it ain't gonna be Bilal. So
do you? So if we're going to Tyr, we know we're going to Tyr.
We know Kalandor's there.
We know Kalandor's there. So that would mean that the travel for Couladin and Rand chasing them and all of that shit is going to take longer because they got to get their asses all the way to Tyr instead of just carrying.
Yep.
I don't think so. It just because we saw Lanfear give Couladin the tattoos. There's no reason why her
She
or
wouldn't port them
Magedion or
over?
someone couldn't just teleport them over.
True.
No,
True.
but no, that they wouldn't do the whole army though. Because they need the Shido to ravage the land.
They need a target for Rand to chase.
Yeah, and they need them to start breaking away from Jaito and taking people from what's that town, Tuan or Tain or whatever.
Yeah.
He needs to go. They need to go through there.
They've also mentioned a lot of the taking of Kalandor by the male Forsaken, so we could also see a convergence of the remaining. I think Robin's going to stay in Camelin for sure. I think some of the remainder of the male Forsaken would try to go for Kalandor, just based on the fact that they keep hinting at, a
They
male
literally
champion.
said, they said that there was a Forsaken that wanted Kalandor and that Leandrin. Of course, it was one of the two lies that Amiko and Joya said, which I think weren't so much lies as they were half truths.
Yeah, or misdirections.
Yeah.
Will we see the formation of the Band of the Red Hand?
Yeah, I think it's going to be in Tyr. I actually think they've been somewhat clever with Matt I think he's going to find out about his mum, and that's why he's going to try to leave. Because if you think where he is and who he is at this moment, he's got no reason to try and leave.
Nope.
Which is obviously what prompts the band to form. So I think he'll find out about his mum. He'll try and leave to go back to the Two Rivers for his sisters, and that's when the band gets formed.
Okay.
Speaking of his sisters, Alana said something very strange when they asked if they were going to be taken back to the White Tower, and she said no. I think, and she had her little line about something different is in store for us or something. What do you think Alana's going to do with the other two Wonder Twins?
Well, I just think that those other two are the tip of the iceberg. I think that when we come back in season 4, Alana's going to have like 30 or 40 of them.
Well, she came to the Two Rivers for an army.
Yeah, I think she's going to have 30 or 40 of them, but I think that army is going to be run by Perrin.
Oh, agreed. I'm just saying that she went there so I can see her checking for more channelers. I mean, because she found Daisy Conger. and that blew her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Daisy.
R.I.P.
Sorry.
Do we think Alana is aware of the kid?
If
They
the kin are
mentioned it.
there, all the Aes Sedai are.
Wait a minute, they mentioned it though. Didn't Rima say that she was in that neck of the woods searching for Chandlers or something?
Right. They did mention something about that. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's why she was in Falm.
That's right. So, yeah, I think that's just like the books. That's an Aes Sedai secret that they get to know once they get the
Yeah.
Shaw. And I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alana's motivation was that the tower's not doing enough. They're not ready. The Black Aja is ready, so she's going to go on her own and Green Aja it out. And so I think that she was telling the girls, we're not going to go back to the tower. We're going to try. I'm going to try to. I'm going to build my own little army around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible Alana still might be black.
Field training.
I think she's
They're gonna do that tower stuff. It's gonna be...
I think Alana will get
I heard that.
Wow, Dad. That was rough.
I think you
All
might both be correct.
I'm just glad it wasn't me this time.
And you tried to whisper it, but you have a microphone right in front of your mouth.
I'm not very. I have a loud voice.
I love it. Any other? We ever go through predictions? Solon, you got notes. What have we missed?
We haven't talked about Min.
True.
And she had the vision of the tower battle, which hasn't happened yet.
Yes,
So
she did.
I think we might get. I think we have to do something with Galad and Garwin.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Agreed. 100%. Those bastards.
So I think there has to be some sort of battle in the tower, even if it's like miniature or whatever. I get
Maybe
them.
like an escape.
Yeah. Just
I would say it would have to be an escape of some sort. I mean, given what we know,
yeah.
unless we come back and because I said this to somebody the other day that during the whole Swan stilling and all of that stuff, only about half of the sitters that were there actually linked up. I think it was only like 5 that linked up. The other one stayed seated. And then with the beheading, once the rest of the tower hears of that, because it wasn't just Alviarin and Elida in that chamber, all the other sitters heard Swan too. And even Elida's face, gave the impression that, holy shit, I made a mistake. She had that look about her like, oh crap, she believes Swan wholeheartedly. And the other sitters might go out and tell the story, and that could start the rift.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long shot, but
no, I think that's good. I think also Varen and her group are going to return to the tower, possibly with the group of Red Sisters as well, unless Sutama is going off to do something else. But on the way, they may also hear of what happened and then divert their direction.
That makes sense.
that'll be interesting.
I think the other thing we've not massively touched on is Egwene.
I was about to say the same thing.
Egwene, I've heard of her.
So the reason I think we'll get Do Might As Wells in episode 7 is to juxtapose like Rand at his lowest point with Egwene at her highest.
Yeah.
And like how far they've both come from like previous seasons. I think she'll get called to Saladar. Rand needs to be fairly alone by the time Moraine dies and he takes Kalendor. Because the others need to be away from him so he can get kidnapped after that, right?
Yeah.
So Egwene needs to have buggered off to Saladar. Matt forms the band. I thought maybe he could go and do the Raven plot. Perrin obviously isn't with him. Elaine needs to go and do something else, but Rand really needs to be alone. So Egwene having her rise to Amelin, I think, fits, and I think Verin will take the Swan role for reasons that will become apparent later.
So Egwene goes with everybody else to Tyr. This is just me assuming shit. Gets to Tyr with everybody else, where they run into Nynaeve and Elaine and that crew. Everybody reunites except for Perrin, pretty much. They find out about Swan. Well, they're going to know about Swan. At least Egwene's going to know about Swan because Moraine knows about Swan.
Yep.
So that's going to be common knowledge there. They're going to get word that, because by then I think Leanne's escape and Verin and them get the hell out of the tower. Call goes out, and then I think all three of the girls return to Saladar together. And maybe I think that's where we get the Magi Nynaeve stuff, because they're going to bust her in Saladar. Because she's going to try to infiltrate.
Get Logain there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100. We need. Oh yeah. I want that so bad. But that would be cool. We would get new Forsaken in season 4. That's the poll.
If you
so
think
do you?
I'm
so sorry. Go ahead. I thought. Do you think they're going to forego Egwene being summoned in Teleranriad with her just kind of showing up in Saladar, and then they'll make that decision while she's there to raise her?
I think it's going to be spontaneous either way, and possibly. I mean, it's at this point, it's really hard to tell where the show's going and how they're going to get to where they're going. Like, we know the big plot points are going to be there, but we don't know what road they're taking to get there.
Moraine could teach Egwene traveling.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to. It's just like I think they're going to do what they would do on a show, and it's going to be like they're going to be sitting there with like 4 or 5 Aes Sedai, and they're going to be like, "Yes, we need to pick an Amyrlin, but who? It has to be somebody strong." All of a sudden, Egwene walks in the tent.
Okay.
Like, I'm here. And they're going to look at each other and then look at her. I mean, they have to do visuals like, yeah, exactly. They're going to do it just like that.
Well, and she can continue her training as a Dreamwalker in the dream itself. So she doesn't necessarily need to be amongst the Dreamwalkers for very much longer.
Yeah.
All right. So, this feels like a delayed, we talked early on about Sony, and maybe there's negotiations going behind the scenes. If they don't start filming soon, Jansen, when can we conceivably expect this to be dropping?
I would say 2027.
Jesus.
That's when I would think that we would see it. That goes along with what we've been seeing recently.
Shit.
I don't follow television and shows and streaming, but is that unusual that it takes so long between seasons, or is this typical?
Well, right now they haven't even greenlit season 4, so they haven't even thought about filming or anything.
Yeah. So I mean, they don't even have locations. They don't have. I mean, shit. They don't have anything. So
they might have like.
I'll tell you this. I'll bet you that they already have half of that done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know they know where they. I mean, see, that's the other. They have all these sets, all this stuff that they've already. I'm 98% that they're going to be doing.
Wait. So if you as an actor films scenes from season 4, and then it doesn't come out, what are you getting paid for?
Your work that you've already done.
Yeah, you got paid for the work that you did.
It's not getting residuals or anything, but I mean,
but your budget. So I'm just wondering, is it a different category? Like you're budgeted, like okay, like you have a budget for season 3, and then they're going through that, and then they just kind of like shoot some of season 4. That's just all within the season 3 budget.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything that they're doing. Everything when you're working, you know, for whatever contract you've negotiated, and then like after all that, that's when the gravy starts coming in. Once the production's over and it's out there. If it doesn't go out there, then you ain't got no gravy.
Are you paid per episode?
You're paid for your work, and it depends on what your negotiation is. Some people do get paid per episode. Like it comes out to like, especially sitcoms and stuff like that.
Sitcoms for sure.
You know, that's all set up like in the contract that they're getting paid a certain amount per episode, and then you know they go to work and then they get pampered there. But it's true they do.
No,
but
I know.
they work their asses off too.
Just the way you said it, buddy. It just felt tired.
Well, believe me, I've been.
You were like,
I've been in both places, man. I've walked in there as background and lived a life of like a black guy in the 50s. And I have walked in there and literally got the red carpet with somebody driving me around, taking my orders, telling me what, like, you know, getting up after working and having everyone clap and having a standing ovation. I have got it. And you know what? It's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels damn good when you do that. But then you go back to the
royal. Your royal penis is clean, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
piss
exactly.
boy. Hey guys, I'm gonna take this time to let you guys know I have to bounce.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys,
well, let's.
Sulin, always a pleasure. Sulin is my orbit in the UK connections. Whenever they put out a book that I can't get a hold of, I can call her. All right, I'm out. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Right on.
Cheers.
Thanks for jumping in.
Yep.
I miss him already.
Me too. I love that guy.
All right, so down below you can see where his Redbubble shop is, and he's got tons and tons of designs that he makes himself. And if you want to support him, that's the best way to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're all like just very, very, very hopeful that we're getting a season 4. Of
course we are.
This is the fingers crossed episode. But Jansen is confident we're getting it. Jansen, did you find any numbers like we were talking about regarding like how well it's done? I'd love to hear some.
Only numbers I found were that they were up worldwide this season by 80%, and they were down a few percentage points here in the United States at the end of the season. But 3 of their episodes, like episode 1, obviously, The Road to the Spear, and the season finale, they were higher than they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they had more new people watching this season than they did in the previous 2.
Okay.
So that's numbers. All great. Those are all great things. I think that, you know, if Sony wasn't involved in this, we would have already gotten a green light.
It's a no-brainer. Is there a chance that Sony says, all right, shelve all that, we're going to take this and do something different, like give us an animated thing or something?
I mean, I don't know, but I would think that if everything got shut down, I mean everything, I think that not only the fans, but I think that the Wrigley family might have something to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sold the rights for a reason, and it's not just money that you're given when you sell your family, a family member's life's work. You're also getting a verbal agreement that they're going to, honor him with it and do right by him by his life's work. So if they put that on the shelf, I don't know how they would feel. This is and was something that they had to think a lot long and hard about selling. She had offers for years.
Mm-hmm.
Before she decided to do this. So with everything that there's so much involved here. So much involved. I don't see this just being scrapped. I've seen things that were way worse keep going. So just way worse.
Yeah.
It's almost I can't speak for the decision making of multi conglomerates, right? Like I don't. That's a world I don't understand. I just hope that they figure it out for reals. But yeah, why some things survive, some get shelved. It's and we'll never know because it's all like NDA'd and it's all legal wraps, wrapped up like ran in a box. So we'll never really know, the ins and outs of it. But it's fun to.
It is
It's
also,
it's hard to put my faith in like these companies.
it's also an extremely audacious move to tell yourself, I have this series with over 2,700 named characters, and I'm going to make a show out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's man. That's a feat, man.
Yeah. I still maintain that animated series would be ideal. And if it looked like the season 1 little like snippets we got animated, I'd be the happiest. A Kool-Aid man at a Kool-Aid convention.
I understand.
It'd be breaking down walls left and right.
And I do believe that we're going to one day get something like that in prequel form or sequel form or side story form. I believe we're going to. Well, we already have gotten stuff like that with what you mentioned before, Ryan. So I think that we will get more things like that.
That'd be amazing.
Loads of rumors going around too, which I think is put a grain of salt on that. But I know that then when I saw the one about the Rohirrim, the animated one that they did about the Rohirrim, I was so impressed. Like just with the animation, just with the way that they just took like a story and fleshed it out like that. And so I thought if that was something that they did with the founding of the White Tower or whatever background to Malkier, whatever they want to do, I thought I would watch that for sure.
Oh yeah, or
See,
I wanted them to keep going with it. Like I thought it was very helpful. And our first time readers, we have a non-reader reaction show that we do every season. They absolutely loved it, and it was the most helpful thing for them. And if you can integrate the animations planfully with the episodes, then you don't have to cram. Right?
I would love to see one like the Maiar and the Sea Folk coming to that island in Tremolking would be awesome.
Oh! I mean, we could have a whole show just talking about
what they could do.
It's a real shame that like if we get anything like that, it will be from iWat because they have the rights for that, which is why the oh gosh, what were they called? The animation things.
Or the shorts, or the origins.
It's why they got pulled. Is because iWat pulled the rights.
What?
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought everyone knew that.
Not yet.
It's why they got taken down.
They wanted to keep animating and giving us that, and iWatch said no.
Yeah.
Why?
They pulled the rights because they're doing their own
stupid video game.
Yeah, but they didn't they announce a 1,000 years between before the White Tower animated original story about a random girl who goes from the White Tower traveling or some crap like that.
She sells cabbages or something.
Right. Jesus Christ, iWat, way to... yeah. How's that card game going, guys? All right, let's. This has been a great conversation.
Been a great conversation. I'm gonna have to leave soon too, guys.
Yeah, the Warriors play Game 7. It's a big game.
My Cleveland Cavaliers just lost.
Did they? Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, fascinating. All right, Solon, thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely.
What do you have to promote? Where can we find you?
I am on Blue Sky and also one of the co-hosts of the Flickerverse show, although I need to be there more often because I'm terrible at getting there. Which is a full spoilers, what if sort of turning a flicker and talking about what would happen if, I don't know, Nynaeve was the Dragon Reborn, etc., etc., etc.
Uh-huh. No, I love it. Yeah, thank you. I hope you rest up, get your jet lag under control. You did great. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'd love to have you on again soon.
Absolutely.
Dad Swain, anything you have to promote? How's your burgeoning channel coming?
It's coming. Every time I feel like I'm getting a step forward, life explodes. So I'm in the middle of an explosion right now with vehicles. But you can find me on any of the socials under Dad Swain Sadai. I'm causing chaos on Twitter every day. And
Good, keep it up.
Yeah, I do love. I mean, Twitter's very chaotic and very toxic, but there's a little, remnant of a remnant there that really loves the show and really loves the books, and I try to mother hen them as much as I can.
Awesome.
Right on.
And lastly, Jansen, how about you?
I've got actually a slow week for me and a heavy one for the kids this week. So my son is going to be performing on stage doing Matilda this week, and he's going to be doing it for 4 straight days for the Pasadena Playhouse. So I'll be there.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Good on you.
awesome. Just the shit-eating grin on your face. That's awesome. All right, everyone. YouTube members and Patreon members, we're going to have, I'm going to say right now, game night this Friday in our Discord. So if you are a member of either one of those, you'll get invitations, and it's a lot of fun. The first one was just absolutely bonkers. Here, Dad Swain, there's your YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
Matt.
join us.
Dagger.
Matt's Dagger. We don't know what we'd do without you, man.
Just the best. That's Dagger. All right, and Tuesdays we have our first time reader show called the LeafCast. Join us if you're interested in that. Until then, as always, run for your lives. This is the way of the Leaf.